Perfect fit closets. How to use garage cabinetry. Today we'll be looking at our S-Mod, also known as our base cabinet, and S-Mod base cabinet stretchable, formerly known as single. We have an illustration pointing out we have some base cabinets at the very top, also known as stackable modules. We've got base cabinetry down below, underneath the HPL countertop, and we have T-Mods on the left and right side. Let's take a look closely of how we can create some garage cabinetry using the base cabinet. I have my existing cabinetry line that we just finished speaking about our tall cabinets. We want to let everybody know that tall cabinet and base cabinets are one and the same. I'm going to open up another elevation here. If I drag and drop a base cabinet, let's take a look at the properties, also known as S-Mod. People should be very familiar, similar to closets. Once I see my magnet, I'm going to let go of my mouse, and a new dialog box appears. I'm going to right-click the illustration. As noted with our T-Mod, the base mod is exactly the same, except the default height starts at 35 and 1/16. We still use a 3/4 inch panel on the left, a 3/4 inch panel on the right, a 1 inch fixed deck on the top, a 1 inch fixed deck on the bottom. We also have our 6-inch legs with a 1 inch adjustment, and we also have an inset back panel. If we take a look at the properties, the default is 35 and 1/16, and we can increase this to a maximum height of 95.5. So again, this is exactly the same properties as a tall cabinet. The reason why we're calling this base cabinet or S-Mod stackable module is letting designers know that you can stack these modules. Here it is our S-Mod. We'll go as far left as possible, drop it in, and we have our 2-piece back panel, our panels, and our decks, top and bottom. If we look at our properties, we had this at 24 inches deep. So this is from the very back to the very front. Because of our inset back panel, we now have our inside dimensions of 23.25. So also please make a note of that. Another thing to note is that we dropped a 24-inch wide module. Well, it's accounting from outside module to outside module, or outside panel to outside panel, where the inside to inside panel is 22.5. If we right-click the actual S-Mod, go into our attributes, so left-click our attributes, let's take a quick peek and talk about the width selection here. So we have 24 outside to outside, 22.5 on the inside. If we left-click our variables tab, we can see that the cabinet width is 24 inches wide. The reason why we have that is we don't have shared panels, so therefore the dimensions of outside panel to outside panel is situated here on our cabinet width. All base cabinetry, tall cabinetry, and upper cabinetry are all one unit, very similar to kitchens where it's got top, bottom, sides, and back. Let's actually go back into our attributes again, and let's talk about the actual types of screws and fasteners used for this. This S-Mod, which is very similar to a T-Mod, has all these components for this one module. Garage left panel is coming with dowels, 9 dowels. It comes with conformant screws. The right panel comes with dowels and conformant screws. Same thing as the garage deck, the bottom comes with dowels and conformant screws. Same thing as the top, dowels and conformant screws. So all those pieces are coming with those exact quantities and pieces. In this section, we have the garage back. We have wafers, legs, and screws. Let's take a look at how that gets assembled, and let's take a look at our screws. So let's take a look at this panel here. I'm going to actually just drop it down so people can see a bit more. Every side panel has got line boring holes on the inside, but a semi-clean face on the outside. It comes with actual screws that are pre-drilled holes on the panels. We're going to put pre-drilled holes on the deck as well as the paddle. You insert your conformant screw into 1, 2, and 3 at the very top, and then the same thing below. There's going to be pre-drilled holes. We've already pre-drilled the decks as well, so it's very easy for you to screw in the conformant screw. The conformant screw is very heavy duty. And in the middle between every conformant screw is we have dowels. So there's a place to insert your dowels and you mallet that in. We also have our 6-inch legs with a 1-inch adjustment that can go up and down because we know the garage cabinetry, or sorry, garages actually have a tapered floor. If we actually take a look at our dealer portal, to find all our fasteners, we're going to hover over our dealer portal. We're going to hover over the product overview, left click job aids and fasteners. I'm going to left click the fastener link. And in their fastener link, we have our conformant screw. Heavy duty screw used in garage cabinetry applications only. So we're combining the panels, backs, and decks all together. We've also spoken about the wafer screw. The wafer screw is 3 inches and it is for garage cabinetry. What these wafer screws are meant for is to install them on the actual back panel and insert them into the wooden stub so we can adhere the module right onto the back panel. Going back to our base cabinetry, the reason why we have it labeled as base cabinetry, again, we're talking about how it's one and the same with the tall cabinet, is that we can add it on top of the existing tall cabinet. So if I've got a tall cabinet, let's drop it down. I see my magnet, I'm going to let go of my mouse. Right-click the illustration. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a base cabinet or a stackable module on top. We can see now that we have evened back panels. Every time I lower this down, we're going to even out as best as we can. We have 2 pieces. We'll keep it at 76 5/8. We'll click on OK, and we'll drop it down. Now what I can do is I can take the base cabinet, drag it into my design, drop, and now I can make some cabinetry lines. So let's keep it at 35 1/16, keep it at 24 inches deep. And for the width, let's keep it at 36. So we'll keep it the same as our existing cabinetry line. This time, I'm going to subtract the leg. So we're going to build this on the floor. Once that's dropped, I'm going to go ahead and click on the up and down feature. And just drag this into position. Right click, left click drag, and drag that through. Right click, up and down. And again, I'm just positioning it through. I can use the area snap for this, and it'll snap in place. Drag, and waiting for item snap. If the item snap doesn't work, what we can do is we can take our line-to-line annotations. I'm going to go into my annotations, line to line, and we're going to go from the farthest left wall to the farthest left section here, which is 35 5/16. Now I can right-click this SMod, drag, and the placement wall to the left is going to be 35 5/16. Now that I'm uniform. So now I've got some base cabinetry or also stackable module. So I can keep on stacking it as much as possible. I can even this out. Here's another example. I can take a tall cabinet and drag it in. And this is really dependent on doors because garage cabinetry doors can only go from deck to deck. So if I make this, let's say 44 inches, if I make this less than 48 inches, I only have a 1 piece on my back. So if we can keep increasing this to 47 5/8, I go one more and one more at that. Now we're going back to 2 pieces. So let's make this as a 1 piece. We'll make this at 48 7/8. 1 piece back panel. We'll click on OK. And we're going to drop it. Right click, up and down, 6 inches from the floor. We'll add some legs afterwards. And now we can take our base cabinet, do the exact same thing, drop it in. The height, we'll make this at 48. Make it one and the same with the bottom cabinet. And we're going to make this one 36 inches and no leg. So here's my module. We're going to install this on the ground. And now we're going to drop it in. So now I've got some cabinetry that's that is now stackable. Area snapped it in place. And now I can actually add doors that are going to be symmetrical up and down. With our actual picture that we were seeing, they were not symmetrical, but symmetrical left and right. So we have a smaller cabinetry height on the top, bigger one at the very bottom. But again, if we wanted more symmetrical, we certainly can. So we have two different sizes. And this is where the base component applies. We can also use the base cabinetry because it's defaulted and it's one and the same as a tall cabinet. We can actually make the bottoms here as well. If you have any questions regarding our SMOD base cabinet or SMOD base cabinet stretchable, please connect with us at support@perfectfitcanada.com. Again, this is one and the same with our T-mods, and you can always refer to either one of our videos. Thank you.